Well, happy morning. Smokey and I are here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have had a morning already. Let me turn this a little bit. There we go. Um, so I had an eye doctor appointment today, which is my usual every year appointment. I always do it in January because it will get me contacts. My insurance gets me contacts for like 6 months, which really is aggravating because I'm like, what do I do in the other 6 months? And they're like, well, you just have to pay out of pocket, which to me is just tough because my one eye, this one, is really bad. And so that contact alone ends up being over $100 to make. And I'm grateful that science has come a long ways where they can make it. That's not my point. I asked them, so after 6 months, do people return their glasses to you? Because that seems somewhat fair. If I'm not going to be able to see, why are they going to be able to see? I'm just kidding, of course, but it is frustrating. So remember when I was talking about how we have to become advocates for ourselves? Well, sometimes your hands are just tied and you don't know. You're not able to do anything because you're stuck in this system of insurance healthcare. I filled out the paperwork, which is really simple because I have no family history being adopted. I don't have any health issues other than my kidneys, which I already have that on file. So basically I was just, checking that everything was good. And then they called me to the back. And so I went back there. And the very last time I went in there, I actually didn't have a doctor. I did, but he was on a tablet in the room. So I don't know what you call them. I don't know if they're called nurses or assistant. Whoever, not the lady at the desk, but whoever it is that takes you back there to get some scans done and so forth. She went in the room with me. And then we went through the whole appointment basically together with the doctor on the tablet. And he was able to move the machine remotely. So that was really cool, I thought, because, then he's not like in my face, which is part of the problem that I have with people. Like, I don't need to breathe your breath. Like, I just want to throw up. Yeah, it's a gag thing with me. I just can't. Ugh. Anyways, so that was really cool because I felt like I was seen. It was quick, in and out. I got my prescription. I was able to go forward. So this time I went in and I was ready to go ahead and do, the machines. And so I got up there and, she had me take my glasses off because today my eyes kind of feel a little tired. I'm tired because I've been working out and fasting. And so I'm just overall... my body's just tired. So that includes my eyes. So I wore my glasses there and she had me take them off. And then I was like, they put your eye, you have to put your eye next to this machine and they like scan it and they flash it and all this stuff. Right. And then, I asked her, I was like, is this the air puff eye thing? And she's like, no, you're fine. And I was like, okay. So then I went to the next machine and I was like, is this the air puff thing? And she's like, well, actually, we're just going to scan your eye again for different things. And then we'll do the air puff for your eye. And I said, oh no, I don't do the air puff thing. I'm like, I don't. You can touch my eye. You can even pluck my eyeball out and examine it and then put it back in. Like, I just don't do the air puff at all, ever. And she was like, oh, okay, because according to our system, you have to see a doctor in order to bypass that. And I said, okay, then. I felt kind of bad though, because like I had taken up an appointment schedule time, but she was like, don't worry about it. It's okay. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, that's fine. I said, no, I was just traumatized as a child when I came to America. They puffed my eye and I just can't do it. Like my eye will literally not open for you. And I probably can't tell here, but I do have a slight oriental slanted eye thing. In fact, when I was younger, people thought I might be Japanese. which is a compliment to me. I mean, that's awesome. Maybe that's why I make pho so much, even though that's Vietnamese. But I always think, or I've been told that Peruvians come from the Asian ancestry kind of situation thing. So, I mean, it's all there, but somehow mixed in, which would be way cool. Like, I don't mind being Asian. But, so I always have a difficulty and then when my eyes are tired, to try to open my eyes and see through these dang machines. But definitely, I'm not doing the iPuff thing. And I told her too, I was like, you can touch my eye. Like, I don't care. And she's just laughing. And she's like, we'll reschedule you. So I have to wait a whole nother month, which means that I'm wearing the same dang contacts that I've been wearing for the last 3 months for 1 more month. And then I have to wait for that prescription to be filled to get, it's just chaos. Like, why does it have to be that difficult? And I don't understand. I mean, I understand why you have to get a new prescription every month or every year, but I really think like there should be some lenient window where I can order my contacts for an additional amount of time. It shouldn't just be cut off in a year, like, I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous to me. And to not even get the full year, because I use one contact a month. Yeah, because I get 6 of them for each eye. So, I don't know. Anyways, I am grateful, though, that I have glasses as well, which I actually took my prescription, and I got these frames. People love these frames. I forgot the name of it, but basically, it's online. So, and I saw it on Facebook, ad for them, and they were only $2. The frame was $2, and then, of course, you have to pay for whatever extra you want on your lenses. So, like, scratch resistant, or, like, you can even do, like, the computer, what is it, blue light thing, whatever it is. You can get sunglasses made with a prescription, like all that stuff, like everything you could do at Nationwide or anywhere you go, just it was online, and you just plug in your numbers, and then somehow they contact, I think, your doctor to just verify that you're actually a person, and then they issue them. So these ended up, I think, being like maybe $50 in the end, and again, it's because this one is so expensive. So this lens is much thicker than this one, but I'm grateful at least I have that, and I know that through my insurance I can get another pair of glasses, which I'd like to get just some basic black frame ones. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm kind of bummed about that. So, but there's nothing I can do about it. And that's the other thing, like I can't. Anyways, it's a bit frustrating because it's, I just have to wait more, but that's okay if waiting is all that it's going to take. And again, those girls are really nice, so I don't want to take anything out on them or anything like that. But today's Wednesday, which means that my day is always pretty hectic anyways. So because my appointment was at 9, then I did my exchange right at 8. So that means I'm doing my exchange now at 11, which is fine, except that it kind of squishes me close to when the jam time is. So I think next year when I call to make my appointment, I'll make sure that I'm making the appointment for contacts for a doctor, depending on if I need him for the iPuff thing, because last year I didn't need the iPuff and I didn't have a doctor in the room other than on the tablet. So I don't know. It's going to happen. But that's every year, right? It seems like every time we get a new year or a new president, everything changes. So, and that's not to bash anybody. It's just like, that's just what happens. It's frustrating because you're used to it one way and you're confident and ready to go. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's not like that. In fact, with dialysis, I have to watch to see what I can order on my supply list because, again, remember my whole gauze situation? Like, we have to have gauze, but they give us this really cheap-ass gauze that's just horrible. Now, I like it because I use several of them. and I just fold them over, and they're very scrubbable. So sometimes when you get the sticky tape, like residue on your catheter area, what is it called? Like your fastener, then that gauze is really great because it will scrub it right on off. Whereas the other gauze isn't as hardy, I guess, so it just doesn't do well, but you only use one on the other. The premium gauze, you just use one. So I'm like, why can't we get both? Like, I don't know. So anyways, DaVita supplies us with the gauze, which is the premium gauze. But I told Deborah last year, why can't I just order the one that I'm allowed to order? Like, I have money sitting there to spend, because I don't overspend. So why can't I get my own gauze? Like, for Christ's sake. Anyways, so she did change my thing to say that I could get some of them. And then I noticed this year I'm limited to 1 or 2 packages of them. Where before, here's the thing. So before, if I can explain the math, if I do 3 exchanges a day, that means technically 4. Okay. But 3 of them I have to use 2 gauzes for, basically. So I use 1 in the beginning and 1 in the end. That means that's 2, 4, 6 gauzes I'm using. Okay. 6 premium ones plus, 2 more, so 4. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 a day I'm using. 8 times how many days? 31 days. You know, like once you start calculating things out, it's like, I'm not even getting enough gauze. Now, if the crummy ones, if I was using 1 at a time, sure, because in that package is 100. So basically, yeah, that would be enough. But that's madness. Like, that's insanity to think that using 1 of those gauzes versus a premium gauze is going to do the trick, is going to do the job, is going to keep me safe, because it's not possible. And I'll have to show you why in another video, because I think I used all mine. So I'm waiting for my next supply order to come in. And when that comes in, then I will do a video on the different gauzes, because it does make a difference. But again, I've earned the insurance to pay for it. So why is it not there for me and the amount that I need? I tell you, I don't know who runs these programs. It's madness. But again, I have to pull back and just be thankful that I get gauze from DaVita, which is premium. And that at least they help me out that way, because if you have to order them off of Amazon for a $50 or for a 50 package thing, I think it's like $16 or something like that. So if you're using 8 a day, other people may use less and other people may use more. I used to do 6 exchanges a day. So calculating all of that was madness. But see, so it's like you just have to be on top of everything, apparently, because otherwise, and I'm glad that I stuck up for myself at the eye place, because I don't want the eye puff in my eye. Like, I don't like that. And so it's okay for me to say no. Even in the medical situation, it's okay to say no. So we'll have to see what happens. All right. For now, I will let you go. I will talk to you later. Have a good day. Drink your water. Bye-bye.